So David Morrell v Khataev could be one of the best fights we see this month, right? Both guys campaigning in the light heavyweight division. Khataev is unbeaten. David Morrell only has one loss to David Benavidez, and that was a very good performance from David Morrell. I know despite it was a loss, it's a loss on his record, and I do think he lost that fight. David Benavidez was able to throw more punches, land more punches. He just had a higher punch output, which I think David Benavidez is going to have over most people at light heavyweight, apart from maybe Bivol. But again, like I said, not a bad performance from David Morrell. And again, that was David Morrell's biggest, opponent to date, right? And put in a good performance, like I said. Khataev is unbeaten, clearly a puncher. I think he's 10-0 with 9 knockouts, something like that. Really big puncher. And there's people saying that maybe he's the next Beterbiev. He fights a bit like Beterbiev. He's a Russian guy. He seems quite big and quite strong for the light heavyweight division. Whereas David Morrell does as well. Does feel like that, but Khataev feels like he's a real beast in there. Like I said, David Morrell, he has lost before, and perhaps David Benavidez has sort of laid a blueprint on how to beat him, maybe. But then again, Benavidez and Khataev don't fight similarly at all, right? David Benavidez is a lot more of a break you down. I mean, to be fair, so is Khataev. So Khataev is a break you down, apply pressure, but David Benavidez throws a lot more punches, and that really was the edging factor in what won David Benavidez that fight. It was the volume. Now, Khataev doesn't necessarily have that volume, but he's got more power than David Benavidez, right? David Morrell's no clown of a puncher himself. Like, he's not got pillow hands himself. Like, he can bang too, but Khataev, regarded as one of the big punchers in the up-and-coming big punchers in the light heavyweight division. I think both guys have got amateur pedigree. I think Khataev may have been an Olympian, I believe. Don't quote me on that. But again, like I said, both guys have got extensive amateur careers. I almost want to pick Khataev to win this, but I don't think David Morrell is losing 2 fights in a row. I think David Morrell is far too good of a boxer to lose 2 fights in a row. Khataev's been in there with some decent guys. This is a really hard fight for me. It was why I like this fight so much. Because both guys come to fight, both guys throw heat, and it's almost a 50-50 fight in my opinion. There's a part of me that's edging towards David Morrell because he's been in there with the likes of Benavidez, who is now a world champion at light heavyweight. But also Khataev, like he bangs guys out, bro. He's a serious puncher. And when you're a serious puncher, you've always got a chance of winning the fight. In terms of pure boxing, who's better? I do give David Morrell the edge in terms of the technical side and the movement. That being said, Khataev does a good job at cutting off the ring. He uses his punch as well to cut off the ring too. His footwork is pressure footwork, so it's not really super elusive. It's not super, maybe not really pretty to watch, But Khataev, he's a bruiser. He's a beast. He comes forward. He comes to fight. David Morrell will be... What it comes down to is, can David Morrell weather the storm and can he take those shots? I think he probably... I don't know, man. I'm sitting on the fence. This is a hard fight to pick because both guys have their strengths, and I almost do see paths to victory for both guys. I think if one guy was going to get the finish, it'd be more likely to be Khataev to get the finish over Morrell. We said Morrell's got some finishes as well. Morrell's banged guys out too, but Khataev's that's his reputation. He's got a reputation for being a real big puncher at light heavyweight. Whereas David Morrell's got more of a reputation of being a slicker boxer, and David Morrell's got some serious boxing IQ as well. We saw it against David Benavidez where he would, switch it up nicely, go to the head, go to the body. Ultimately, it wasn't enough to get the win, but just because you can't beat David Benavidez doesn't mean you can't beat other top guys, right? He'll still have some success against a lot of the other top guys in the division, and I think he's got a bright future ahead of him. Both guys have got bright futures ahead of them. Gun to my head, I want to pick David Morrell to win this fight. Yeah, gun to my head, I'm going with David Morrell. Both guys, talented boxers, got big futures in the light heavyweight division. I wouldn't be surprised, once a Beterbiev retires, and then as Bivol fights, and he'll probably fight Benavidez in a unification bout down the line somewhere. But no doubt no one person often holds all 4 belts for a long time. Sooner or later, someone will become stripped, get vacant. No doubt in the future, one of these guys could become a world champion. Morrell or Khataev. Right? I'd be curious to see what lies in the future for these two guys. And also, who do you think is going to win this fight? Do you think David Morrell's going to win it, or do you think Khataev is going to keep his undefeated record and win this fight? Gun to my head, I'm going David Morrell, but I could see a Khataev victory too. But yeah, another episode of the Seth Solo Side Quest in the bag, and I'm out. Peace.